Okay. I'm going to attempt a Steve Reich thing. As I'm reading, I've been in the Steve Reich phase, and I intend on being in it for a while. I've been reading his book. It's very good. So I'm going to try and emulate his phasing technique, which is probably the thing that he's most known for. Uh, yeah. So with I don't have the compositional technical knowledge of it. Actually, I have. I'd say it's pretty slim. So this is my impression of it. So apologies to anyone who's actually in the game of composing, as this might be way off, but I feel I think there's going to be utility in it. So what I have here is a sample that I took from Tracklib, which is a really nice thing actually. Right, so what the technique and what he's doing in his work, the best way is probably to listen to a track, but it's about offsetting. So maybe I should just try and show it as quickly as possible, as I feel my explanation will be a bit too much. So how do I explain this? So let me do it quickly. So I'll take a sample and I'll warp it, and I'll offset it by, what is this, like maybe what? Okay, I'll offset it by 32 note division. It's going to offset it as it's, so I warped it and I set it to repitch, and I offset it its I offset its length and its starting time. No, actually, its length by the by a 32 note. Is it a 32? Yeah, it is. So I offset it by a 32 note length and division in relation to the initial sample. So if I were to play it, so let me play this thing. Okay, so at this point you can hear it getting offsetted by the 32nd note. The problem is that it's out of pitch here. So I set my settings, my algorithm to complex, so it keeps it in pitch. And so what I'll do here is so when I'm selecting the thing, make sure that it's the sample in its entirety with this one as well. And so if I were to play it and set it to follow actually the length of the clip, you can maybe hear and see what's happening. Ooh, no. So you can actually hear it and see it here as they kind of align in time. When I didn't, I could probably calculate it, but when a certain division in time comes, so it's like, okay, so this was the first one, and here goes the second one, right? Okay. So it takes what is this, like 2 bars and a quarter note for it to align. And so right. And so it gives you a pattern. It gives you a pattern, and it gives you like an applicability to it. So I guess the first part of this, of like applying this is maybe, so I'm going to, it's very important for it to be the same sample, right? I mean, you could do different samples and experiment that, but I feel that's way over my head at this point. So right now I'm going to select, so I'm clicking on this, holding shift and selecting the whole thing, and I'm holding control shift to offset it, to offset both samples. So let me offset it by a 30-second note, right? Because the grid is fixed. So let me move the sample. It would be the same thing if I were to do it like this manually. Just here, I want to offset this pattern. So, okay, so let me hear it again. All right, it's even more apparent when it's panned. So actually, it sounds better when this one is in there. Let me offset it by another 30-second. What is this? Yeah, probably it's 30 seconds. It's the thing. We're doing Team Yeah, I mean, so the end of tutorial. I mean, from this point, I feel I could go wild with it. Right. So could probably so maybe without starting with effects, I could probably take the sample, duplicate it, put it down, and then maybe do a corresponding bass loop with the thing. But let me make it so the phrase is a bar long. Actually, let me duplicate. So let me try and okay, so I'll render this, though I won't have the ability to mess around with the phrase as much so because I edited the sample, I'm going to consolidate this one, and I'm going to put it so it keeps pitch, and I'm going to offset it by an eighth note, right? So I dragged and I resized my sample so it offsets itself by an eighth note. So, okay, so it'll probably take longer for it to collide and coincide to get this effect right. Maybe I could offset it inwards, maybe? I mean, it's the same deal. So if I were to offset it by a 30-second note, will it coincide? It probably won't. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. So the shorter the, yeah, right. So the shorter the loop, hope I'm recording. Yeah. So the shorter the loop, the faster it is for it to reset. But so I'll need right, this. Okay. Let me do it like here. This, and then let me get the baseline going here. So going left and going far left here. Let's try. That's very nice. So where does it reset? So if this is my thing here, and I'll do the same thing just to see it. If this is my thing here, so okay, so I'll need to check the beginning. It still didn't do the phase part. Alright, says it no. Yeah, it's here. Okay. That's interesting. So you could probably go and make these patterns and kind of mess around with these and like get parts where it coincides and maybe calculate like for maybe like to find a way to get the upper voicing for it to coincide with the lower voicing, and then make an event there where it maybe gets really reverberated or something. And I feel, I mean, not even to mention to start like sending these like to sends and processing, right? So that's so hypnotic. I mean, it is. I mean, it sounds like versions, but it's because of the piano and everything. It's his idea, man. I mean, it's his absolutely everything. It's fucking. But I never really tried this, so it's kind of crazy for me as well. Yeah. So what's probably really cool to do with these is to maybe maybe like cancel them each, like cancel them out. Maybe if I were to flip the face of one, and so when it happens, so it sounds better, but there could be applicability, like to kind of make like the difference between these samples, to kind of try and make a send out of them and then send them to a reverb or something, and kind of get like a negative of them. But that's maybe. So if I were to send both of these to a reverb. Sort of fluttery stuff. There is a plugin that I found which could actually, what's it called? It's crazy how it really gives it the versions here. It's like a tape emulation thing. Find it because it's like a tape thing that you can use to do these pitch bends, so it will go way more as urgent. Let's go, come on. If I don't find it in this scroll, I'll do J37, the tape thing. No. I don't think so. is that plugin that just gives it? It gives it. This could be This could be like an additional movement. So we would go. So if I all right. That so I don't know. I'll link maybe some music in the description of how Reich uses it. Although it's probably pretty. I mean, already like in the composing world, whatever. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for watching.